Hello, and welcome to Korbins Code. I'm your host, Korbin. Today, I'll be teaching you how to make a simple game with Scratch. Last time, I introduced you to Scratch and helped make your first Scratch project. Today, we'll be making a game called Barriers. It's a game where you dodge walls coming at you. There's a whole bunch of different kinds of walls that come at you, like the ones to two sides, or the left and the right. And if you touch the walls, they'll send you back. And if you touch the line all the way at the end, he'll say ouch, and then the game's over. Let's try making this game for ourselves. Go to scratch.mit.edu. When you're there, log into your Scratch account. And after you log into your Scratch account, we can get started. Once you logged in, you can click the folder, the My Stuff folder, and then click New Project. The first thing we'll learn is how to make the cat move when we press the arrow keys. So, to do that, the first thing we have to get from the Events tab is a When Green Flag Clicked block. And from last time, if you remember, this will start any script that's under it when the green flag right here is clicked. Next, we'll go to the Control tab, and then we'll grab an If block. Put it right under there. Next, we'll get an If-Then block and put it inside of the Forever block. And then we'll go to Sensing, and then we'll grab a Key Space Pressed, and we'll drag that in there. And then finally, we'll go to the Motion tab, and then we'll grab a Move 10 Steps block and put it in there. So now if I click the green flag, nothing will happen, but when I press the space bar, he'll move forward or to the right. Now, let's change this by clicking the green triangle, and you'll see there's a whole bunch of different keys. We'll be using the left and right arrows, so I'll press the left arrow, and I'll change it from 10 to -5. This will make him move left. So now if I press the left arrow key, he'll move 5 steps to the left. And now, here's a cool trick. If you right-click the If block, it'll pop up Duplicate, Delete, Add Comment, and Help. We can duplicate it, and I can put it inside the Forever block, like that. So I'll show you again. You can right-click the If block, duplicate, and put it right under inside the Forever block. And then we'll change from left arrow to right arrow. And then we'll change -5 to just 5. So now if I click the right and left arrow keys, he'll move left and right. This is how he'll be dodging all the walls. We'll also be going to Looks tab, and then we'll scroll down to see the Set Size to 100% block. And if we drag that right under the When Green Flag Clicked block and change that to 50, if we click the green flag again, it'll be smaller, 50% smaller. I think we're done for now with the cat. Almost done. We'll go to the Motion tab, and then we'll grab a Go to XY block. And if I drag that right under the Set Size block and change the value from -30 to 0, And make sure Y is also 0 too. Then when I click the green flag again, he'll always be in the middle when we start. So if I go left and right and click the green flag again, he'll be in the middle every time. Okay, I think that's it for the cat. So let's make a new sprite by clicking this paintbrush right here. And then we'll grab a rectangle block. A rectangle shape. And then we can use the color red. So if I click this red square right here, it'll turn red. And then make sure it's a filled one right here instead of the only bordered. We'll use the fill. And we'll make a long rectangle by clicking and dragging right here. And then it'll show a big giant red rectangle right there. So now let's duplicate this by right-clicking it, right-clicking the costume, and then pressing duplicate. And we'll duplicate this 4 times, like that. So we have 4 costumes. So from the first one, we'll use the eraser tool, and then we'll make it bigger. About that big. Oh, maybe bigger. Yep, about that size. And then we can use the eraser tool to make little tiny holes. So I'll make a hole here. For this one, I'll make a hole there. So you can see that there's a hole right there. And if I go to the next one, I can make a hole in the middle for this one. So I'll make a hole right here. And then I can make a hole on this side for this shape. That. And then for the last one, I'll put one on both sides, just to make it random. So, and just like that, we have all our walls. So let's start working on the scripts for this. So I'll go to the Scripts tab, and then go to the Events, and then grab a When Green Flag Clicked block, and drag it right there. Then I'll go to the Control tab, and then get a Forever block. And inside that Forever block, I'll get a Wait 1 second block. And then a new block. This is a Create Clone of Myself block. What this does is creates a clone of itself, and you can make the clone do other things and look like it. So change the 1 second to 3 seconds. And then grab a When I Start as Clone block and drag it under the When Green Flag Clicked block. And under the When I Start as Clone block, you can go to Looks, and then grab a Switch Costume 2, Costume 4 block, and we'll place it right under there. And then we'll go to a tab we haven't used before, the Operators. Here you'll find a whole bunch of blocks where you can do math, random. You can also do equal signs, greater than signs, and blocks, and ors. And one we'll be using right here is the join block. So if I grab this join block and put it under right here, inside the costume block, I'll change the hello instead to costume. And where it says world, I'll grab a pick random block. What this does is picks a random number from 1 to 10. So if I click the block, he'll say 1, it'll say 2, 4, 10, it'll just show random numbers. So if I put that where world is, then it'll pick a costume from one random costume from here. In the costumes tab, you'll see we have 4 costumes, so we'll make the 10 4 instead. So they'll pick one of those 4 costumes and look like it. Okay, so now what we can do is go to the Control tab and then grab a repeat until block. This block repeats whatever inside of it until a certain condition is true. So in this case, we'll make it go away when it touches the bottom of the screen. So to do that, we need a line or something to tell it that it's there. So we'll go to the stage, and then we'll go to backdrops, and then we'll grab the rectangle tool, and then we'll use a very dark color like this really dark red, and we'll make a thin line all the way at the bottom, like that. And now if you go back to the Scripts tab, and then click on Sprite 2, we can grab from the Sensing tab a touching color block. So if I put that right inside of the repeat until block, if I click the square and then click the line right here, now it'll keep repeating whatever's inside of it until it touches the bottom. So we'll go to the Motion tab and then grab a Change Y by 10 block. This block changes the Y position of the whatever is the sprite, whatever the sprite is. So we'll grab we'll change the 10 to -3. So this will make it fall downwards. And now, for the final thing, we'll go to the Control tab, and then we'll grab a Delete This Clone block all the way at the bottom of our script. So now, if we click the green flag, it'll start creating clones, and every 3 seconds, it'll fall down. But something looks a little wrong. Right now, it's starting like right in the middle of the screen. Let's change that. So what we need to do is first stop the project, and then we'll drag this rectangle all the way up right here. And then we'll go to the Motion tab, and then we'll grab the Go To block, and then you can leave the Y alone. Just change the 0, the 7, or whatever number it is, to 0. Just change the X to 0. So now, all the time, it'll just keep staying over there. And now, the cat just phases through the walls. So there's no way to lose. Let's change that. We'll stop the project, and then we'll go back to the cat, and then we'll go to the Control tab, get an If block, and then use the Sensing block, and then we'll grab a Touching Color block from the Sensing tab, and then we'll change the color right here to red, or whatever color you use for the wall, and we'll click right there. Okay, so now we'll go to the Motion tab, and we'll grab a Change Y by 10 block and put it right inside of there. And then we'll change the number to -3. And now if you click the green flag, if you move, you'll keep moving, and then when you touch the wall, he'll fall downwards, like this. But there's one last problem. When the cat touches the bottom, he doesn't lose. So let's do something about that. We'll stop the project. We'll add another if block. And I'll let you try to do this once for yourselves. What block will we add in here first? So from here, when the walls, we used a touching color block. And we used the line right here, the color right here. And then when the block touches that block, when the block touches that rectangle at the bottom, it goes away. So you can use the same thing for the cat. So what you would put here is the touching color, put it right in there, and then grab the color from here, the thin line, and click it. And then we'll go stop all. We'll grab a stop all block right here. And what this block does is exactly what it says. It stops the whole project. But right before that, he'll say ouch. So we'll get a say hello block for 2 seconds. So I'll put it right here. So he'll say ouch, or whatever you want him to say, for 2 seconds. You can also change this to like 5 seconds, or I'll leave it at 2 seconds. And then after that, it stops the whole project. So now, if we click the green flag, he'll start moving around, left and right. And when you touch the last, right, when you touch the bottom, he'll say ouch, and the whole project stops. Let's change the name of our project to barriers. You can name it whatever you want. I'll just name it barriers. And then save the project. Congratulations, you just made your first Scratch game. Make sure to customize the game, like adding score and levels. If you confirmed your email, you can share this project so everyone can see it. If you missed part of this show, I'll be posting this video onto YouTube. See you in the next one.